What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I recently went out to go see one of the most highly anticipated movies that I've been looking forward to all year, and it's Moana 2. I am myself am a big fan of the original Moana movie. I adore that film. I can't believe that that movie came out several years ago. I think it was like 8 years. Damn, that time went by so quickly. I still remember watching the first Moana movie like it was yesterday. Now Moana 2 is taking place several years after the first one. Well, now that Moana is all grown up and she's a wayfinder, and now she's taking another new quest that is going to be more difficult, and she's going to have to face a task that she's never faced before. This movie was originally made as a Disney Plus show when Bob Chapek was still a CEO at Disney, when he was all about making the quantity over quality when it comes to content for movies and Disney Plus shows. And this one was one of them. This was originally not supposed to be made as a film. But then after Bob Chapek stepped down as CEO at Disney, Bob Iger came back and tried to undo the damage that he had caused over the last couple of years. And they had to rearrange these episodes and try to make it into an hour and 40-minute movie. Now, we were always wondering, can he make it work? The marketing they really nailed. The trailers have been really good and they stuck to landing. And I was myself, like I said before, I was hyped because I love the original Moana movie. And I was hoping that they can actually stuck the landing for this one. And in revisiting Dwayne Johnson as Maui and the actress who played Moana in the first one and coming back and reprising her role. I can't pronounce her first and last name because I'm so terrible at it. I'm not going to be able to do it well. It was her first role that she was in, and it really became a groundbreaking in her acting career. But for time to time, she did a lot of voice acting and popped up in some supporting small roles here and there. She didn't really do much. She didn't have a lot of major roles in her acting career, and also, she was in a recent film that came out like in early 2024, and it was the 2024 version of Mean Girls, that remake of that musical film that came out several months ago. And I still have not seen the movie yet. And I will get around to watching it at some point. And also, Disney is already filming a live action adaptation of Moana, and Dwayne Johnson is reprising his role as Maui. And now, after hearing the reviews, it's been very mixed lately. And I was so shocked that this movie was not going to be getting a lot of highly praised response, especially for people who are fans of the original film. People are saying that the music is not as memorable and the story was not all that compelling as much, but it's still a fun movie and charming and good time at the theater. And after coming out of the film, I was really hoping that I was gonna like it a lot more than critics. But then after watching the film, I'm gonna have to strongly agree with the critics that I can understand why the critics did not love it as much as the first one. I completely agree that the musical numbers were not memorable and not as good as the first movie. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the musical numbers, what they did was really good, but it's not a song that I'm going to sing to on repeat. And it's not a song that I'm going to listen to on the Spotify playlist on the album. Because when I first watched the original Moana, and then after coming out of it, I instantly went back and listened to it on Spotify, and I thought all the songs in the movie in the first one were banger and memorable and things I could sing to, like "You're Welcome," very catchy song that was voiced by Dwayne Johnson, and "How Far I Go." That was one of the top tier songs of the whole album, and the rest of it was still banger that I can listen to over and over again, and it was touching and emotional. And the story itself was so compelling, and it added the charm and it adds so much heart. And I love that first movie. But for this one, it still added the charm and the humor here and there. And I really liked the crew that Moana recruits when she goes off on her quest. I thought they were really good. I thought they played a part in her story, and I thought that this Moana's little sister that we meet early on in the beginning of the film, I thought she was so adorable. Oh my God, their relationship between the two of them was absolutely touching and emotional. She's a little girl who's so funny and so tough, and she looks up to Moana as her hero, her idol. She wants to be like her. She wants to become a wayfinder like Moana. And I thought that their screen time together was very touching. And the visuals and the animation were absolutely beautiful to watch. It's really good. They stuck the landing on that. I thought that the beginning of the film had a decent setup, but the middle part for me was the weakest out of the three acts because I thought they had so much filler, and of plot convenience that really felt so forced that it was shoehorned in. And I wish that they brought Maui in the movie a little bit sooner. We only see him a little bit in the beginning of the film, but he kind of got sidelined a little bit. But when he and Moana reunite, it was one of the best parts of the film. The third act and the ending really stuck the landing. I'm not gonna lie. It was the best part of the film, period. It's where the story starts to now pick up and starts to get its groove back. But overall, I thought that the movie was solid and I had a good time. But I'm not going to say that the movie was perfect because the musical numbers did not stick the landing. The story itself was a little bit generic and it kind of recycled the same plot as the first one. And it was nothing more to it, to be honest with you. And the main villain, it was someone that I'm gonna forget about in the next 10 minutes after I'm done watching the film. But there is a mid-credit scene that are gonna have to stick around for. And look, a lot of you guys out there who haven't seen it yet, you might go into this movie and might disagree with me because when I watched this movie in the theater with an audience where I was at when the credits starts to roll, when that title card comes up, everybody in my theater was clapping. They had a great time, so most of them loved it more than I did, and it's already doing a strong opening box office for Moana 2, and it's really getting stronger than I thought it would be. So the casual movie going audience are still going to be pleased by this sequel. Overall, I'm going to give this verdict for Moana 2 a 7 out of 10. It's a solid movie, but not a sequel that I'm gonna rewatch again. I will still go back and rewatch the original one and cherish it for what it was, and I will always love that. And I'm not too crazy about the live action Moana adaptation. I kind of feel like it was just like another money cash grab. But then again, every big movie is a cash grab when it comes to IPs. The only difference is that we're hoping for the best and hopefully they stick the landing. And they had a track record of not putting out so good content for live action adaptation. The only thing it's the only reason that kept going is because it keeps making more money, but the quality itself not as good. There are exceptions that I like for the Disney live action remake, which is Aladdin, which I know some people did not like, but I'm one of the people that liked it more than most people. And the best one that they did for the live action remake is Jon Favreau's Jungle Book. I thought it was the best one they have ever done. That was the only rare live action remake that they stuck the landing for. And Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella movie, which I thought that was pretty good too. So what did you think of Moana 2? Did this movie live up to your expectation? Did you love it more than I did? Or you're on the same boat as me, is that you thought it did not live up to it and you were very mixed and didn't live up to your expectations? Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, give it a thumbs up because it helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and help me reach 500 subscribers. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from. And I hope you have a great holiday and stay tuned for more of my content.